topic is those of us who are greying naturally, or if you've got grey hair, or if you start to see that your eyebrows are starting to get a little bit sparkly with the grey ones, what do you do and how do you embrace the whole greying eyebrow stage? I happen to love my grey hair, and I've been letting it go grey since I was before 50. But even though I've had eyebrow microblading done myself, in fact it's a powder fill is what I have, is that the little sparkly grey boys still come through. And what do you do? So women who've embraced their grey hair often struggle with that question, and they come to me and they say, I'm tired of tinting them, Olive. The tint doesn't last longer than a day, and that would be true. And as a former brunette or very dark brown hair, and as you know, eyebrows frame our face, and I used to have a very pale face, but my eyebrows are now speckled with the grey hairs, and unlike the hair on my head, it's coarse and wiry, and they've also grown sparser as I have headed into my more mature years, and we've done a little bit of overplucking, couple of mishaps, and it's the aging process. So what colour should they be? If you have grey hair, what colour would you tint your eyebrows? And oftentimes people would think that going darker in order to get more longevity is the way to go. Not so. Women with auburn or blonde hair wonder if they should colour their eyebrows grey even, or head for a taupe colour to match their head hair. And some people with very dark eyebrows worry that if they go too dark, that it'll be a harsh contrast in comparison to the grey hair. So there's no one size fits all now answer to these questions, and you have to try out lots of different products. I'm going to show you a couple that I have here that I've trialed out over the years. So if you don't want to succumb to having your eyebrows microbladed, here's a couple of suggestions that we have for you. And having your eyebrows microbladed does mean that eyebrow maintenance does continue. You still will have to tint them, but not as often. But I would suggest that you tint them maybe once a month. You can do a home tinting kit after you've had them microbladed by me. It's not as obvious anyway. Or you can invest in a brow mascara that coats your eyebrows every morning. Now, I haven't mine done yet today, so I'm going to do that now. So these are my 3 latest gems that actually a client brought me as a gift. They are 3 in 1, and she brought me the 3 colours: brown, taupe for the blondes, and dark for the brunettes. And they're pennies, believe it or not, and $3.50. So most beauty experts would agree that a slightly darker eyebrow will give your face more of a youthful appearance. Because eyebrows, they provide a frame to your face, and they also bring out your eye colour. So to find out what shade works best on you, it's better to experiment with different colours until you find one that actually suits your skin tone. And at $3.50, focus, $3.50, really, head for one that's the closest to your eyebrow colour, and buy the next shade darker is what I would advise. One for day, one for night. So if you're older and you are 50% grey, I'm only about 30% grey, I'd say, and your skin has also lost a bit of translucency and colour, an eyebrow that's too dark can be very harsh in ageing. So go lighter. And I think for the likes of me, I was always a brunette, but I always had a very strong brow. And here, a second now, this here is the pencil. I'm not going to use that today because I don't need to fill in anything. This here is eyebrow powder. I don't need that either because I'm already microbladed. But this is the little gem. Look at the size of that gorgeous tiny little spoolie. Charlotte Tilbury is the only person that I know has got spoolies this size, so I don't think she's going to be too impressed with pennies. But what you do is you brush upwards at the start of the brow, sideways at the body, And from the arch to the tail, you either go outwards or downwards. And what that does is that it coats the little sparkly hairs that you have if you've either forgot to tint them this weekend, or if you want to just freshen them up. And also the product that's in them, which is that colour, it freshens them up, but it also keeps your eyebrows in place. So if you were going to be tinting all of my eyebrow microblading clients, I recommend them they tint their eyebrows every 2 to 3 months. And for those who are older and have the sparkly ones, you might actually have to tint them once a month. But you can do that at home. You don't have to go to the beautician to have it done. You can buy an eyebrow tinting kit in Boots. The one I recommend is Eyelure. It's the best. It's the closest one to the professional brand for home tinting. The peroxide level in it is 3%, which is pretty good. Okay, so that's the brow mascara. So a good brow pencil. Now this is the medium brown one. Light brown, actually. It can really enhance your brows, but not everybody likes that defined look given by a pencil. Brow powders and brow gels are great alternatives for a softer effect, and I've included them here. But the brow pencil, these are angled. I don't know if you can see it. It's actually in a triangle, so you use a corner. And if you have maybe a spot that you can actually just use the pencil just to sort of draw in a hair stroke. It'd be better you have them microbladed, of course, so that you don't have to do that every day, particularly if you've got gappy brows. But anyway, today we're talking about greying eyebrows. Anyway, so there you go. So if you prefer a darker brow, consider using dark brown, a brown black, or a dark steely grey. If you are a blonde and you prefer the lighter brows, consider using light brown, dark blonde, or a taupe like these here. And as I have explained to you, that these pencils are 3-in-1. So you've got your pencil. If you're looking for that lovely soft effect, you've got that powdery effect, which is really soft and lovely for older people. And then you've got your spoolie to cover the greys. So pencils and powders and spoolies for greying, for people with grey hairs, they're surprisingly difficult to find until these. Whoever is the sales and marketing person for Pennies, well done you. Clearly this is not a sponsored post, but I do like to share the great finds that I've had. And the best part is that brow powders and pencils come in a variety of, dark all the way through to cool and lighter grey shades to suit every skin tone. So if you want to play with powders and pencils and spoolies and brow mascara first before you come to us for a consultation, we will always say to you, yep, we will microblade your eyebrows, particularly if they're gappy or if they're very grey. But eyebrow maintenance in relation to tinting and covering the grey will have to continue. I hope that helps.